So like I said, there's lots to watch between the two campaigns. And it is understandable in presidential election years that all eyes are on that top-level contest between the two major parties and their presidential candidates. But in a presidential election year like this, with just, 2 months to go until the big day, may I also suggest that you don't sleep on what is happening in the states. Yes, watch the two major parties. Yes, watch their two candidates. Yes, watch the way the presidential campaigns fight each other and the nuances of how they compete. But watch what is happening in the states. Because sometimes, even in an election year, what is happening in the states just seems like it can't possibly actually be happening. For example, how is this for a local news lead this weekend in Michigan?
Things got off to an odd start at the Michigan Republican Party convention in Flint today. Former Michigan GOP chair Kristina Karamo was escorted out of the event by police.
Yes, that is an odd start. Things did get off to an odd start. Even if this weren't the state Republican Party in one of the most important swing states in the country in a presidential election year, yes, that does sound like an odd start for the Michigan Republican Party state convention.
Former Michigan GOP chair Kristina Karamo, who was ousted from leadership, made an appearance at the event but was removed by Flint police. New chair Pete Hoekstra was greeted by some boos as he took the stage.
We've had problems in this state party.
Officials say she was asked to take a seat but refused, and was also asked to leave but refused again. That prompted law enforcement to get involved, escorting her out of the building for, quote, causing a disruption and clogging up the floor.
Causing a disruption and clogging up the floor. Detroit News reporter Craig Mauger was able to capture this view of the former state Republican Party chair being escorted out of the state Republican Party convention by police. It was followed by some pushing and shoving, maybe even a little punching. It's hard to tell exactly what is going on there, but clearly something that is not politics is happening here as police are called in to remove from the state Republican Party convention the woman who claims she still is the chair of the Michigan Republican Party. She was elected in 2023. She was removed in January 2024 this year. She then refused to go. In February, a Michigan court ruled that she had to go. As of this summer, she was still trying to get courts to reinstate her as Michigan Party chairman. And as of this weekend, the cops were called in to get her out when she appeared on the floor of the state party convention. Did I mention that this is one of the most important states in the country for the presidential race, and we're 2 months out from the presidential election, right? The ostensible state chairman is almost booed off the stage as he tries to convene their state convention. And the person who claims she's still the real party chair is escorted out by police. I mean, it's been months now that in the Michigan State Republican Party, they've been calling the cops on each other and getting in fistfights at their official Republican Party events. We pay so much attention to how the two parties' presidential campaigns are doing, competing against each other in various swing state polls, I mean, it's worth noticing when things are absolutely bananas with one of the parties in those states. And it is not only happening in one state. I mean, not long after the Michigan Republican Party went to war with itself and ousted its chair, and she refused to go, and she took them to court, and nobody knew who was running the place. Not long after that, a version of the same thing also happened in the state of Florida. Right after Michigan threw out their state Republican Party chair, Florida threw out theirs, too, following news reports that he was being investigated by police for allegations of rape. Police also said they were investigating him for video voyeurism charges for allegedly illegally recording a sexual encounter without consent. The Florida Republican Party threw him out. Police later cleared him of charges in both of those investigations. But then right on the heels of that, the state of Arizona lost their state Republican chair, too. That same Republican Senate candidate who awkwardly appeared with with Trump this weekend, Kari Lake, she released secretly recorded audio tapes of the Arizona State Republican chairman in which she said he was trying to bribe her to leave the Senate race. She also reportedly threatened to release more tapes of him, and so he quit as Arizona State Republican Party chairman. Then right on the heels of that, the National Republican Party lost its chair too. Romney McDaniel pushed out or resigned, apparently in order to make room for Donald Trump's daughter-in-law. Her experience for the job included being a singer in addition to being married to one of Trump's sons, the blonde one. So that seemed like a totally legit, non-controversial, meritocratic choice for the leadership of the National Republican Party, and so Romney McDaniel had to go. But all of that has all happened just this year, in 2024. It's only August. But, I mean, Michigan, Florida, Arizona, the National Republican Party, they all lost their top leadership under embarrassing, if not terrible, circumstances, all in a crucial election year. And now it's happened again. This time it has happened in Colorado.
We start tonight with some big news in Colorado politics. The state's Republican Party chairman is out. Dave Williams and other party leaders were voted out as leadership of the Colorado GOP today. But those party leaders have said they consider today's meeting and vote fake. The meeting started at noon and is still going. Right now, Republican Party members are voting on who will now lead the state party. 9 News reporter Lauren Scafidi has been there all day.
It's 2.5 months until Election Day, and Colorado Republican Party members are still fighting their own leader.
And to those who say, don't change a rider in the middle of a race, that's a valid argument, unless, of course, the rider is trying to kill the horse.
That is a valid argument unless the rider is trying to kill the horse. So that was this weekend, Saturday, as Colorado Republican Party officials met to vote out their state party chairman, who they said was destroying the party. Now, for his part, it's a little bit like what happened in Michigan. The Republican Party chair in Colorado is refusing to recognize the validity of the vote to remove him, because of course he is. He says the meeting this Saturday in Brighton, Colorado, where they voted to fire him, he says it was, quote, a sham and illegitimate and illegal. As of Sunday, the day after they voted to fire him, he at least still had custody of the state Republican Party letterhead on which to release his statement that said his firing was a sham, and so he's still in charge somehow. So that's something. Maybe possession is 9/10 of the law, right? Maybe you still are kind of the state Republican Party chairman if you still possess some 8.5 by 11 letterhead that has your name on it. I don't know. I mean, who knows? One person who says she is still the chair of the Republican Party in Michigan was escorted out of that party's state convention by cops this weekend while fists flew. Another person who says he's still the chair of the Republican Party in Colorado was voted out by the other Republicans, but he says their vote doesn't count, and he has the letterhead to prove it, and he's still the real chair, and he'll convene his own meeting this upcoming weekend, and then everyone will see who's really in charge. Doesn't it seem like a great idea to put those folks and that party in charge of the whole country?